10 of the very best sweet summer fragrances you can buy. If you have watched my channel, you know that I love sweeter fragrances, and I especially love sweet fragrances that work well in the summer. It's kind of a rare breed, right? A lot of summer fragrances are more fresh and clean and bright and citrus or aquatic, and they don't have as much sweetness. So whenever I find a fragrance that is both sweet and really works well in the heat, then that's exactly what I need. So we're going to get into this list. Before we do, consider giving a very sweet click to the like button if you like the video, and also subscribe if you haven't done that yet. Let's go ahead and begin. First up, now I've got a good blend of newer stuff and older stuff in here. I've got actually half original fragrances and half clone fragrances. This one right here is one of my favorite blue fragrances because of the way it blends sweetness and aromatic freshness. I'm talking about Rouge Lom, and this is basically like a tonka bean and minty aromatic fragrance. It's definitely got that ambroxan or amber woods, I guess you could say, clean blue fragrance vibe, but there is a tonka bean sweetness, which surprisingly a lot of blue fragrances have tonka bean in them. But this one also has some minty, fresh kind of aromatics. So it's sort of like, you know, an aquatic, fresh, sweet fragrance with just the right amount of that fresh, spicy kind of mintiness, which actually comes from juniper berry and geranium and basil. So there's a very kind of herbal mix of notes that give you that invigorating fresh spiciness. I love this stuff. Very unique, Rouge Lom, and very cheap as well, usually like 40 bucks. All right, next up. Now this one is an oldie but a goodie. This is one of the kind of original sweeter aquatic fragrances that really took off. I'm talking about the original Invictus. If it has been a while since you've worn the original Invictus, you might want to give it a try. This stuff is amazing. There's a reason that it's become one of the most influential fragrances of all time. It is an aquatic, sweet, bubblegummy kind of a fragrance. You've got like some bay leaf aromatics going on. It is a very unique, ozonic, sweet, fresh, aquatic fragrance. And I still think that the original is super relevant. It actually smells different on many different people's body chemistry. And so anyway, this stuff is awesome. And it's pretty cheap now if you buy it on the gray market. The original Paco Rabanne Invictus. All right, next up, something in a similar family, but with a good bit of a twist. I'm talking about this one right here, Hollister Wave 2. Now, this has been compared to Invictus Aqua, but there are some significant differences. I would say it's a little sweeter than Invictus Aqua. It's got a little bit of a powdery kind of a vibe, I think, coming from tonka bean, but it's still that invigorating, sweet, aquatic. This one's got a little bit of bright sweetness, like a citrus sweetness in the top as well. And it's got most of what you get in Invictus Aqua, but with that little bit of a powdery edge and a little bit of a different fruitiness in the opening. Again, really good stuff and super cheap, Hollister Wave 2. This next one, you know, I don't think I ever saw it in the store or in the mall, but apparently it was very popular at some point, and that's probably because I never went into Hollister. This is another one from Hollister. Very impressive, actually. This is SoCal by Hollister. It's basically a vanilla tropical leather fragrance. And so you've got like pineapple and coconut, you've got vanilla, and you have suede. And so it comes across as a vanilla leather fragrance, but with a little bit of a twist with those tropical notes. I think actually it smells amazing. I don't think it smells like, you know, your mall bro kind of a fragrance. I think it's got just enough complexity and uniqueness to make it intriguing and interesting, but it's still definitely a crowd pleaser. It's sold very, very well. Again, Hollister SoCal. Probably the kind of king of sweet summer fragrances. It's kind of like so sweet that it's probably best for summer evenings. I'm talking about Leau Le Parfum. It's the daddy of them. Can you tell? It's in the shape of a man. Anyway, this is a pineapple, coconut, tonka bean, and iris fragrance. It's got that fruity kind of an iris note, almost like a red fruit iris note. If you know what I'm talking about. But it's got the same kind of freshness from the original Leau. Of course, with the coconut and tonka bean, there's a lot in common, but a little extra sweetness. There's also that iris making it unique. And there is a woody muskiness in this fragrance that you don't get in the original Leau. I think it's amazing. It's a compliment getter. It's a great date night fragrance. Again, Leau Le Parfum. All right, I do again have a couple very new clones in this video, but I'm going to start with an oldie as we go into the clone portion of the video. This one right here is still amazing. Armaf Club de Nuit Milestone. I don't know if you can tell, but I've used about half of the bottle already. I'm below the line here on the circle. This stuff is awesome. This is, it is to me, an ambergris fruit fragrance. Now, obviously, this $40 bottle doesn't have real ambergris in it, but Armaf does a phenomenal job of mimicking that Creed ambergris. And this basically smells like ambergris and a basket of soft fruits. It's like, apple, pear, a little bit of berry. It's not heavy citrus like super tart and sour. It's more kind of like soft fruits with that ambergris-like texture that you get in the real Milsim Imperial. I think that it is a gorgeous fragrance. It's one that not a lot of people actually wear other than those who are in FragCom who know about this fragrance. Most people aren't buying the $400 Creed. It smells amazing, and it is the perfect sweet summer fragrance in my opinion. Moving right along, we're going to hit this one right here. This is a new release from Paris Corner. This is Coconut Lagoon. It's not really a clone, but it does have a lot of similarities to Creed Virgin Island Water. This is an ozonic coconut boozy fragrance. So it's got this violet leaf giving it that particular kind of airy ozonic freshness, but it's also got a lot of sweetness. There's a lot of sweet coconut, and it will remind you quite a bit of Virgin Island Water, probably like 80% similar, but it's still its own thing. It's unique. It doesn't have, I think it's the white rum note and a couple other notes from Virgin Island Water, but none of the other big brands are doing a dupe of Virgin Island Water, so this is probably about the best thing you can get. So very good. Again, Coconut Lagoon from Paris Corner. And if you want to get the actual Virgin Island Water DNA, you probably can't beat this one right here from Generic Perfumes, Virgin Island Water. This is so very close to the original. It's the quintessential tropical boozy fragrance. Coconut and white rum and a bunch of sweetness and a bunch of invigorating freshness. I don't understand why the big brands don't dupe this. In the meantime, we have brands like Generic Perfumes or Dua or Alexandria, but out of those, Generic Perfumes is going to give you the best price, especially if you use my discount code down below, 25% off or free shipping if you spend, it's either $50 or $100. So anyway, Generic Perfumes, Virgin Island Water, really, really good stuff. Next up, we've got a pretty new release from Latafa, Najdia Intense. And rather than being some variation on Ultramol, which is what I think the original Najdia was, this is actually a Leau Paradise Garden dupe. And it's a really good one. They took the original Leau, they made it salty, they made it a little green, and they added this another level of sweetness to the fragrance. And in this one, you get that. You also get a very distinct mint note, like a minty aromatic note in the original and in this one. Very close, I would say like 85 to 90% similar, and it is a beast performer. Easily 8+ hours on this thing. The only difference I would say from the original is I think the Latafa here has probably a touch more mint, 10%, 15% more mint. But if you want a garden take on Paradise or on Le Beau, then Paradise Garden is what you want, or you could just go with this one and save about 80% of the cost here, Najdia Intense. I've actually got 2 more, so it's actually 11 instead of 10. This is one of my favorite summer fragrances and one of my most complimented of all time. A couple years ago, I bought Juliet Has a Gun Vanilla Vibes. I loved the DNA, but it performed horribly on me. And whenever I saw Dossier releasing Aquatic Vanilla, I knew I had to buy it. This is their take on Vanilla Vibes, and it is awesome. It is basically the smell of like a very well done kind of suntanning oil with a bunch of vanilla. There's some vanilla, there's a little bit of coconut, and then there's what we kind of will refer to as solar notes, which is, think suntanning oil. Something about this fragrance, people absolutely love it. It's in a similar family to like 1 Million Parfum, which is also a compliment beast, but this one is sweeter, and it specifically has the addition of vanilla and coconut, which I absolutely love. And it's probably 85% close to the Juliet Has a Gun. And it performs better. It's a beast. I'm telling you, 10, 12 hours, no exaggeration. It's a certified beast. And finally, number 11. This one is in the video because of, to my nose, some similarities to the one that I just showed you. Maybe Vanilla Vibes is too sweet for you, but you want a similar kind of feel, then you could go out and buy Neroli Portofino from Tom Ford, or you could save yourself a couple $100 and buy this from Maison Alhambra, Porto Naroli. Very, very similar DNA. The difference, of course, to the one that I just showed you is this one is focusing more on the freshness. It's that aquatic kind of sitting by the pool kind of a feel. I don't know if everyone smells this fragrance and they are reminded of things like 1 Million Parfum or Vanilla Vibes, but to me, Neroli Portofino has that kind of a feel. It's like sitting by the pool on a summer day. It's aquatic, it's lightly sweet, it's got just the right amount of kind of a bright, a little bit of a citrus, and that neroli, which actually mixes very well with fruits. So anyway, Porto Naroli, a great cheap alternative to Neroli Portofino. And so that has been 10, actually 11 really good, sweet fragrances for the summer. I want to remind you to give a sweet click to the like button if you like the video, and also subscribe. Let me know down below, what are your favorite sweet fragrances for summer? I'm Justin. This is Sillage Scents.